I want to now, you talked about, both of you, Pastor Martin and BC talked about scaling businesses. I want to come to Candace Price. She's the co-founder, co-owner of Home Team Auto. She also has, I think, Sapphire Grill. She is just excellent entrepreneur, incredible entrepreneurial mind, and not just for herself, but you've been able to share that with others, and just a dynamic leader in this city. Candace, from your perspective as a business owner, talk to us about scaling. What do you need? What would you like to see? What do you see happening that you're excited about? Candace?
Awesome. Thank you so much, Willie, for that introduction. I really appreciate it. And I'm honored to be here this morning to have a chance to speak with everyone and be a part of the African American Leadership Conference. I would start with right where BC took off, and she was saying that it takes all of us, and it truly does. So when we look at Black business and we're looking at wanting to scale, it takes a community, and there's many things that can be done within the community to help each small business. One thing is sharing the businesses of the community. So not just your friends. You want to celebrate the wins of the community, not just the wins of your friends. That's easy to do. But when you see others doing things either that you're already doing, maybe they're doing it a little bit better, maybe they're needing a little assistance, you reach out and you celebrate them. And you can find on Facebook, people will share so often and have so many likes when someone gets a new job, which is worthy of celebrating. But when a friend opens a business, we don't see that shared nearly as often. And I just think that's one way that you can help without even actually putting forth a dollar. Another thing that we would want to look at is just the numbers when it comes to growing and scaling small business. A lot of what we found gets in the way, especially during COVID-19, we found is that Black businesses, we do not have our numbers and paperwork together in order to grow, in order to scale, in order to receive the benefits. For instance, we know that there are 3,000 Black-owned businesses in the state of Nebraska. Well, only 247 of those have employees. So without employees, there was some funding, some actual free money, grants that was provided by the state that only less than 247 of those businesses were able to receive. So for my business in particular, I think it's very important when we look at scaling and growth is knowing where do you want to go. If someone came to you today, you know, with $10 million and they said, well, what do you want to do? Do you have a plan, or is it, well, we just want to get bigger? So what is your plan? So for Home Team Auto Sales, Ron Devers and I, our plan is we would like to grow that business, of course, Home Team Auto, but what we would like to move to is a Black-owned franchise dealership. In our country, there are over 19,000 franchise dealerships. So that's the Baxters, that's the H&H's for Omaha, and all over the country, there's 19,000. Well, there's only 256 in the entire United States Black-owned franchise dealerships. And so that's what we want to scale to. That's what we want to become. And so, you know, we like to have a large scale mechanic shop and places where people can come for service, a service center, as well as body shops. So those are our goals. So we have plans in order to work towards getting there. And at the same time, what we do is we reach out and we help. We are part of the community. We will pick our head up from the desk from working very hard, and we get involved. For instance, my business partner right now is involved with, he's a part of the cohort for Redefine the Game, which is with the Empowerment Network. So you have to grow yourself, as BC and Pastor William said, in order to scale and grow your business. You need to participate. You need to get out and meet people and network and figure out what can I do to make changes within myself that will help my business. For me, I'm a part this year cohort of Leadership Omaha, which is through the chamber. And so that allows me to actually get outside of the community, meet some others that may not have the same views as me, and learn and introduce myself to them. That brings money back to the community. One thing that was said last night that I really liked, I'm not sure if it was George Fraser or Dr. Lance, but they said we actually need to get away from the FUBU mentality, for us, by us, to the FABU mentality, which is for all, by us. And so that's what we are working towards. Another thing that I'm finding with the Black community is we get very nervous about sharing our information. And I don't mean just with one another. We already know that's a fear that we have, and that's either from, you know, having a bad experience or hearing about someone's bad experience. And so that's something we have to get away from. But when I say sharing information, I mean even our numbers and our financials. In order to grow, you need to be comfortable sharing that. And one reason that I know that we're not comfortable sharing that is because we don't have it together. And so reach out and find out whether it's NEF or whether it's SCORE or what's coming now to be celebrated, the Carver Legacy Center. So that will be a location where we can reach out for a mentor in business and say, hey, I don't have this together. What can I do? What do I need to do better? How do I get these instruments and systems in place that Pastor Williams spoke of? You know, what is it that I need to do to have something simple as QuickBooks to make sure that I can easily get to my spreadsheets and easily find what's needed so that I can qualify for funding, so that I can grow, so that I can scale? How do I get to the point where I can have and hire employees? What exactly is needed there? All I've ever done is a 1099 and a contractor. So how do I actually get to those employees? We need to stop being afraid to ask questions. Again, stop being afraid to celebrate one another and getting involved. When we talk about also, I wrote something down here about Black-owned businesses and the fact that the majority of Black-owned businesses are really sole proprietorships. We found a way to hire ourselves and give ourselves a job, not impacting the community, which is what today is about, which is what you've heard and will continue to hear everyone speaking about. The other problem with that is it's great that we can hire ourselves, but the majority of these sole proprietorships, their average income is $18,700 a year, which for most households and most families, that is below the poverty line. So that's not growth. It's tough to grow from there, but we can do it. We can do it together. We need to work on our relationship building, our customer service skills. What have we been taught? Have we been put into leadership classes? If we need that, you know, reach out, and we need to learn to ask for some of those initiatives. But I see Omaha coming a very, very long way, again, with the help of the Carver Legacy Center, which I think is going to make phenomenal change within our community for home ownership, which of course builds wealth, and also for our businesses. Thank you very much, Willie.
Powerful, Candace. I share with you, I hope it's okay if I share with everybody. We're going to speak this prophetically for a moment. When I was growing up, my mother always had Black Enterprise and Essence and other magazines available. And Black Enterprise specifically has the top 100. And always, I didn't know Omaha I didn't know where it was or anything else about Omaha, but I did know this coming up is that Omaha had, I think, 2 Black-owned car dealerships that were in the BE 100. So we want to see you in the BE 100 and be an example of success in Omaha, that it can happen again. So thank you so much for the incredible insights and always being willing to share what you have gained and learned with so many other Black-owned businesses in the city. So thank you, Candace, for being here this morning.
Thank you. I claim that with you, Willie. I appreciate it.
I see it on the BE 100, so thank you. All right, Pastor Martin, if you can come back in, we want to close out this segment. So we talked about wealth with Pamela Jolly. We talked about home ownership, investing,